What's up guys, Nanu Garage here. Here I am today with the BMW M4 and I'm going to be telling you guys what it is that I don't really like about this car. To be completely honest with you, coming from an American car, driving this thing around, coming from the Shelby and the CTSV, both higher power, I really did have high expectations for this car and it definitely did not meet those. This car does have pros, it does have cons, so I'm just going to quickly talk over those. All right, so here we are. We're gonna start off with the pros of this car. And the first thing that I'm gonna mention is just the exterior styling. As you can see, this is like one of my favorite things about the car is these mirrors. The M mirrors look so fantastic. I absolutely love how it has this arch right over here. It looks super aggressive and it gives such a nice element to the vehicle. The next thing that I'm gonna talk about is this paint. I'm not sure how well the camera's gonna pick it up, but this blue paint, favorite color, hands down, favorite color. It is so sick, this color on the car. I absolutely am in love with it. So now the next thing is going to be these wheels. As you can see right over here, pictures do not pick it up as well, but as soon as you get close in person, do you see how much these wheels cave in? They cave in so much and it looks so fantastic. And I also love how many spokes this thing has. You see how it caves in so much, giving such an aggressive look, even on the back wheels. With all of its spokes, it looks so fantastic. So now coming around to the back, I love how this has its quad tips back over here. I really love it. So now it's coming to the interior. So now the next thing that I love, first of all, the wheel. I like how thin the wheel is over here. I feel like it looks really cool how thin the wheel is and it feels really nice. And then over here to the seats, I absolutely love these seats, but I will talk about something I don't like about them. But I love the color, the red color, and these slots right here. Gives such an aggressive look along with this M4 light right over here that glows, which is really cool. And then check out how it has the red trim over here too. Has the red leather along the door right over here. And then I also really like the dash too. It looks really cool and it has lights that light up as soon as you get towards hitting red line, which is pretty cool. So now I'm going to talk about the things that I don't like about the car or that could improve. Some of them are minor, some of them are major, but let's start off with it. So the first thing is, I know there's an M4 CS that you could get, or no, the M4 GTS that you could get. Definitely a way higher price point. However, I do think with this car, they should have incorporated some sort of carbon fiber along the bottom over here, just to give it that extra contrast along the bottom, because I feel like it's missing that pop right along the bottom, and it would do it so much good to have that. So now the next thing that I gotta say that I would change about this car is coming around to the back. I wish this lip was a little bit bigger on here. It's kind of just like it's so tiny, as you can see right over there. It's super thin. I wish it was definitely a lot bigger or thicker, and it would give such a more aggressive look to the car. So now the next thing, you're not gonna be able to see that well because I am standing back here and there's not that much room because of this wall. But if you're looking at the car from the back, check out over here, this muffler right here. It may not look visible on camera right now, but when you're back far away from the car, you can see that muffler so much and it's so visible. I just wish they would have split it down the middle and put it in two separate paths, so then it's less visible to see the muffler. In addition to this lip being very small, they could have made it bigger too to make it more aerodynamic. Right now it would have so much better handling if it just sloped up like this, kind of like my Cadillac CTSV. My V3 CTSV. If it had a spoiler like that, it would look so much better, so much more downforce. It would be so epic. So now I said I don't like something about the seats here, and what it is they're so uncomfortable. They are still kind of comfortable. You can still daily the car, but they feel so firm. And the reason that I say that, yes, it is a racing seat, but my Shelby GT350 has the racing Recaro seats, and they are so freaking comfortable. Zero complaints about it. It is so comfortable, those seats. I just wish they could have made something more comfortable with these seats, because this, at the end of the day, this is a German car meant to be driven on the Autobahn very fast, but German cars are also supposed to be very comfortable. It's supposed to be a luxurious car. So that's one thing that I wish they could change. So that was quite literally the first thing that I even noticed sitting in this car right off the bat, is I was just like, my brother and I were both like, damn, how are we gonna get comfortable in these seats? It felt so difficult to adjust it just to get comfortable in these seats, because your butt really feels like it's like so far just up and like it's not provided with any padding. So as you can see, I do have the seat all the way angled, so I kind of sit cupped back in there, but it's still not as comfortable as I would like it to be. So here is something that I really do not like too, is check out this brake pedal. The brake pedal is so tiny. It is so tiny. And why is that an issue, you may ask? When I pull up to do donuts, I use my right foot to start slowing down, and then I transfer to my left foot so I can hold the left foot pedal down and do a mini burnout with my right foot with the gas pedal, so I can do what they call a brake stand to turn into my donut so it's easier to slide out. With this pedal, you literally have to start with your left foot and you have to end with your left foot, which I think is kind of an inconvenience. I could have just thrown in a bigger pedal in there and it would have been so much better. All right, so now the last two things about the car is the first thing is that I feel like a manual transmission truly belongs in this car. And the reasoning behind it is, with the automatic, it does not creep up at all. You always have to use your throttle to creep up. And why that's an issue to me is it's not even smooth when you use your throttle. When you use your throttle, the car kind of jerks a lot, and it's really uncomfortable when you have other people in the car and they kind of look at you. It's kind of like you don't know how to drive manual that well and you keep on jerking off the start, which is, I think, a huge issue. And I think a manual transmission belongs in it. It feels like they try to mimic a manual transmission and they completely failed at it. And the car also rolls back, which I think is really weird given that it's not a manual, because at least in a manual, you can pull out your clutch halfway so it doesn't roll back. But this car will roll back and you have to quickly transfer over to the throttle. So that's one of my issues with the car and something I really don't like. It just feels like it's not set up to be an automatic, it's set up to be a manual. Okay, so now the last thing that I gotta talk about is the launching in this vehicle. I'm gonna throw up a clip right here. As you can see right here in the clip, what happened was I launched the car from 3,000 RPMs. I finally got it to work. And as soon as it launched from 3,000 RPMs, it may be an issue with the vehicle in particular, but it was extremely annoying. As soon as I launched it from 3,000 RPMs, the car completely just shut off on me. I have no idea what the heck happened, but it completely shut off. And I was like, what the heck, man? Just launch, please launch. So if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure you guys go check it out. But definitely check that video out. It was really awkward. I don't know what the heck was wrong with it, but it was really weird. So then the rest of the times, it launched 2 times from 3,000 RPMs with launch control activated. And I had all the steps correctly with all the assists completely off. And the last times around, all the car did was it wanted to launch from like 1,500 RPMs and that was it. So that was extremely frustrating. So now the very last thing that I have a complaint about is I feel like the exhaust is extremely quiet. Yes, I'm coming from the Shelby GT350 where it's super loud, but I feel like they should have just done an active exhaust with like valves open, close. And this does not at all sound like valves open, close. This seems extremely puny, especially towards the lower RPMs. You have no growl whatsoever in the car, which is extremely annoying to me. And I think catless, this car sounds absolutely freaking amazing, but in stock form, it's not that well at all. So I do wish that was something they can change. Overall, I did have high expectations for this car and it didn't meet it. However, if you do want to pick these ones up, I do think they are really cool. My uncle had one that was modified. It was basically full bolt-on, and this car was freaking, it was so amazing full bolt-on. I love this car full bolt-on. It truly transforms the car full bolt-on. So if you get one or you have one and you want to go full bolt-on, definitely go full bolt-on because it completely performs the car into a totally different beast. And I think in that form, that's the only way I'd ever buy this car. It would be directly full bolt-on right away, and that's the only time I would own this car. So just like that, this brings us to the end of today's YouTube video. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys thought. So that brings us to the end. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It will really help me out a lot. I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next video.
You see a carku, call the cops, boy. AK all day, body start to drop, boy. Bamba jinya beaten, sari diyan streetan. They're trying to lock us up, but we ain't gonna stop, boy. They're trying to lock us up, but we ain't gonna stop, boy. They're